And for this cause Elohim shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. What is this strong delusion? What is making people promote lies instead of truth? The strong delusion will have people believe that Yeshua is white instead of black. The strong delusion would have people believe in traditions of men instead of the importance of keeping the commandments. The strong delusion removed hundreds of writings from the Bible, even though the Bible forbids us from adding or taking away from the scriptures. This is the same delusion that whitewashed all the black biblical characters in the Bible and forced their lies upon our ancestors when they arrived here to the Americas in ships. The strong delusion is the worldwide religion called Christianity. This religion has separated black people from their Elohim. Christianity has not only kept us from Yah, but continues to keep black people asleep and unaware of who they are as a people. Yahuwah tells us in Deuteronomy chapter 3, verses 1 through 3, that when we turn back to Him, He will turn our captivity. But because we have been indoctrinated with the teachings of Christianity for centuries, many of us have no idea what it's going to take to turn back to our Elohim. This is why we remain an oppressed people. Instead of turning back to Yah, we follow false doctrines and many other religions that fall under the umbrella of Christianity. Let's look at Deuteronomy chapter 30, verses 1 through 4, where Yahuwah tells us that we are going to return to Him in the land of our captivity. It reads, "And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations where Yahuwah thy Elohim had driven thee, and shall return unto Yahuwah thy Elohim, and thou shalt obey His voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul. That then Yahuwah thy Elohim will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations where Yahuwah thy Elohim had scattered thee." You see, the heathens can't understand that they're not going to stop the Great Awakening. The remnant will awaken in these last days. It's just a matter of when. This is why we should never give up, and we should never stop prophesying to the valley of dry bones, in which we know is the so-called black people, the lost tribes of Israel. You see, the Most High told Ezekiel that those dry bones would live again. Many people tend to focus on the curses of Deuteronomy 28 and fail to mention the blessings that Yah promised in our future soon to come. As we can see here in Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 1, Yahuwah said, "And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse." There's going to be a time, as you see in verse 2, where Yahuwah brings us out of the curse of this captivity and into the blessings that He promised in our future to come. But this will happen, of course, once we turn back to Him. We must understand exactly what it takes to get back to Yahuwah. We also must understand that Yahuwah didn't just turn His back on us for nothing. We transgressed Him. This leads me right back to the strong delusion called Christianity. It is the main trick or tactic that they use to separate black people from their Elohim. Because we have been indoctrinated with the teachings of Christianity, many of us do not know who we are. Therefore, we unknowingly continue to grow further and further away from Yahuwah. The heathen powers that be know exactly what situation that the Hebrews are currently in. So they continue to kick us when we're down. and they continue to attack us while we're in our weakest position. There was a time when the Israelites were feared because everyone knew who they were and who our Elohim is. But today, they know that the Most High has turned his back on his people. If you're a Christian, then I know that this is going to be definitely difficult for you to accept. You probably should be asking yourself, how come the average Black Christian in the Americas have no idea about this truth in the scriptures, the holy days, the true seventh-day Sabbath, dietary laws, and the commandments in general? How is it that the average Black Christian have been going to Sunday worship many years but know nothing about who they are or the truth of the scriptures in general? Why don't the preachers in the secular church tell their congregation how to get back to Yahuwah and how to overcome these curses? The truth is, from the days of slavery until now, Christianity has always taught us to blindly follow after whatever the pastor says without searching the scriptures to see if what he teaches is biblically sound or not. Therefore, since the vast majority of our people were pretty much born into Christianity, we have been programmed since our youth to reject anything that teaches contrary to what our pastors or church teach us. And as a result, Yah raises up the prophets, the teachers, and the apostles in each generation to bring forth his message of truth to our people. But most of us cannot receive it because it's different from what Christianity teaches. This is why Christianity is such a strong delusion, because it blinds you from being taught the truth by indoctrinating you with lies. And just FYI, it doesn't matter what religion you run to, Satan has perverted all versions of Yahuwah's original message. But I'd like to inform you that Christianity is the most deceptive religion of them all because it uses our ancestors' writings as a foundation of their religion. By using our writings as their source of faith, many people have been deceived into associating Christianity with the writings in the Bible. Therefore, they think that Christianity is Yah's religion. But truth be told, Christianity teaches a different doctrine and lifestyle than the one our ancestors wrote about in the Bible. So when people become members of a church, they get taught the ways of the religion instead of the ways of Yah. But they think they're following the ways of Elohim. This is the prime example of how Satan deceives people by distorting Yah's message. One of the most distorted things that Christianity teach is called replacement theology. Replacement theology teaches Christians that Yah has replaced the bloodline Israelites as his chosen people with a new group of people in spirit. Teach that the Israelites have been rejected by Yah and replaced by the Gentiles. This is why when people go to church, they hardly ever hear anything about the Hebrew Israelites. Teach that Israel have been replaced. This is not biblical, and it makes no sense because the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelations was written by the Israelites to the Israelites. This concludes my message for today, family. May the Most High bless you and keep you and your family safe in these dark times. And remember Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13, "He that endures unto the end, the same shall be saved." And until my next video, Shalom.